John Donne. John Donne was a prominent English poet associated with the metaphysical school. He is renowned for his exceptional love poetry, religious verse, treatises, and sermons, which rank among the finest of the 17th century. His poetic works encompassed a wide range of styles, including sonnets, love poems, religious pieces, Latin translations, epigrams, elegies, songs, and satires, and he was also known for his eloquent sermons. Donne was born in London in 1572 into a Catholic family, experiencing isolation due to religious differences in predominantly Protestant England. He attended Oxford's Hart Hall and later studied law at Lincoln's Inn, although he never practiced law. His life took a dramatic turn when he secretly married Anne More, leading to a scandal and a brief imprisonment when the marriage was revealed. Donne and Anne faced financial struggles, relying on support from friends and family. Donne's journey involved a conversion from Catholicism to Protestantism, marked by his work Pseudo Martyr. In 1615, he was ordained in the Church of England and became a royal chaplain to James I. Tragedy struck in 1617 when Anne died, leading Donne to vow never to remarry. In 1621, Donne was appointed Dean of St. Paul's Cathedral. He spent the next decade delivering powerful sermons and writing. However, in 1630, he fell seriously ill, and after one final sermon, he passed away in 1631. During his lifetime, Donne's poetry was primarily shared in manuscript among a select group of friends and patrons. He was reluctant to print his poems, viewing it as beneath his status. His preference for manuscript circulation makes precise dating of his works challenging. Donne's poetry includes love poems, satires, and holy sonnets. His devotional poems often feature paradoxical and potentially blasphemous conceits. After his ordination, he focused more on sermons and devotional prose. Donne's poetry fell out of favor after his death, but saw a resurgence in the 19th century, with poets like T.S. Eliot celebrating him as a proto-modernist. Today, he is acclaimed as one of the leading metaphysical poets of the English Renaissance. Some of the significant poems of Donne include A Nocturnal upon St. Lucy's Day, The Canonization, The Good Morrow, No Man is an Island, The Sun Rising, Batter My Heart, A Valediction Forbidding Mourning, The Ecstasy, The Flea, A Valediction of Weeping, Death Be Not Proud, The Funeral, Go and Catch a Falling Star, To His Mistress Going to Bed, At the Round Earth's Imagined Corners. A Valediction Forbidding Mourning. John Donne's A Valediction Forbidding Mourning belongs to the metaphysical genre and was penned in 1611 or 1612 as a farewell poem to his wife Anne before his departure to continental Europe. It was later published in 1633, 2 years after Donne's death, in the collection Songs and Sonnets. This 36-line love poem employs intriguing conceits and clever analogies to depict the impending separation of two lovers. Thematically, it can be linked to various other works by Donne, including A Valediction of My Name in the Window, Meditation 3 from his renowned Holy Sonnets, and A Valediction of Weeping. A prominent and enduring conceit in the poem is the metaphor of a drifting compass used to symbolize the couple's relationship, 2 points inextricably connected. While this metaphor has been both praised for its similitude and criticized for the excesses of metaphysical poetry, it remains one of the most recognized sustained conceits in English poetry. The poem also carries an alchemical theme, with scholars highlighting Donne's subtlety and precision in its execution. A Valediction Forbidding Mourning opens with the description of a virtuous man's serene death, so peaceful that his friends are uncertain if he has passed away. The speaker likens the forthcoming parting of himself and his wife to such a tranquil departure. Rather than expressing emotional turmoil like shallow lovers, they will melt into each other. The poem continues with celestial analogies comparing the lovers' separation to the movements of celestial spheres. These moments, though invisible to earthly observers, possess far greater significance than the visible actions of celestial bodies. Instead of breaking, their love will expand and stretch, much like a gold leaf slashed thin. The poem's conclusion features the renowned metaphor of a drifting compass. The speaker portrays his wife as the fixed leg of the compass, providing stability, while he roams as the moving leg. However, his return is inevitable due to her steadfastness. A Valediction Forbidding Mourning predominantly explores the theme of love, particularly in the final stanzas, where the compass analogy attributes to love the capacity to adapt to change without altering its core. The poem also addresses Donne's fear of death and his celebration of sex as a sacred act. The initial part of the poem draws an analogy between the lovers parting and death, while later verses emphasize the religious undertones of their love, suggesting that disclosing their affection would profane it. The poem draws thematic inspiration from Donne's earlier work, A Valediction of My Name in the Window. The most prominent symbol in A Valediction Forbidding Mourning is the compass, introduced in line 26. This metaphor symbolizes the strong bond and equilibrium within the relationship between the speaker and his wife. The speaker and his wife use the concept of a compass because it embodies their profound connection and the balance in their love. The poem highlights the idea that the fixed leg of the compass represents his wife, while the moving leg symbolizes him. Despite his wanderings, he inevitably returns home due to her unwavering constancy. Another recurring image in the poem relates to natural and catastrophic weather phenomena, which primarily appear in the first half. Lines 5 and 6 describe these phenomena as floods and tempests. These weather references illustrate the exaggerated emotions of lesser forms of love. In this portrayal, the couple's passion leads to excessive crying and sighing, as if they hope that someone will take notice of their intense feelings.